Welcome, swooper friends, to yet another Moisture Farm podcast where we're not just collecting water, we're collecting satisfaction. Thank you for joining us this fine evening or morning or whenever the hell you're listening to us. For today's episode, we have been out for a little while, so we have a ton of spoilers to go through. We do have an ad for today, of course. We'll talk about what we've been doing and go through some other fun things. We had somebody win a store showdown, and we all know who that is. So let's get into it. And we may or may not get to the book club. It'll probably be the next episode. As for that ad read, let's take a look. Ever felt the urge to commit intergalactic war crimes, but, legally? Meet Cad Bane, which I need to be able to share. There it is. The Star Wars Unlimited card's so mean it comes with its own restraining order from the Jedi Council. This hat-wearing, gravel-voiced, morally bankrupt Duros, cat species, doesn't play the game. He charges you interest on losing it. Snipes your units like he's checking boxes on a hit list, ignores rules like they're bounty suggestions. Will probably kill your dog just to make a point. Poor doggos. Leave the doggos alone, Cad. Cad Bane doesn't enter the battlefield, he saunters in like a Western funeral procession, and, spoiler, you're the casket. Deploy him, and suddenly your opponent's strongest unit is a fond memory and a pile of regret. His flavor text reads, "Oops, all murder." Your last hope, already shot in the kneecaps. So why play fair when you can play Bane? Cad Bane, available now in Star Wars Unlimited, rated E for Everyone's Gonna Die. Thank you, Cad, for joining us and supporting the podcast.
Well done. Well done.
Gentlemen, how you doing? How you doing?
I go first. I go
You go
first.
first.
I am moonlighting as an opera singer, which explains my laryngitis. My voice just isn't used to this much vocal range. Either that or I got some nasty ass cold and it feels like this cough is going to linger forever. Tomorrow's my last day at work. I'm very excited. Work continues to be silly. I had three different people cry on me at work today. And not because I punched them in the kneecap or anything. They were sad to see me go.
You were mean to
Patients,
them. We know you were mean to them. Stop making
the
people cry.
meanest.
They don't actually know you.
They don't. If they, I make it very clear to my patients that professional Robert is not personal Robert. Like this is not, this is not the deal. I have this amazing hoodie that my wife loves, that PJ thinks is amazing, and that Tangent is raspberry jelly of. So overall, it's a win. It's a win.
It's a win.
I am hoping that my life becomes much less complicated starting next week. Maybe I can take some naps and get over this cold, and life is good.
Robert, uh, opera singer is an odd definition of prostitution.
We all sell our bodies in one way or another.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've had a bitchin' 2 weeks. I've been oh gosh, I've been, it's been an emotional roller coaster to say the least, and I just continue to be paying tithes. Uh, I injured my back, and that sucked. And as I was recovering from that, my knee flares up to the size of a grapefruit, and it's uh it's been it's been 5 days now of just constant pain. And I generally have chronic pain with arthritis and whatnot, but most of the time I can tune it out. Like it's just a part of it's just a part of the spoons to give to the day, right? And it's fine. But the last few days it has not been fine. I've had to go to work and I've had to focus, and um when Leah asked me if I wanted to go play cards tonight, it was an emphatic no. Like, I'm feeling so bad, I don't want to play cards. Something's wrong. Like, what's positive about this? Well, I made an appointment with my doctor, and I'm going to visit HR tomorrow, and I'm going to start pursuing um, uh, benefits to me offered by the state and also my company policies so that I can cover time when I am like this, when it's this bad, when I need time to rest. Um, so yeah, I have to go be an adult, which sucks, but I will because my actions have consequences and a lot of people rely on me. Wow, wow. Um, I went to a store showdown last Sunday and I went 6-0. Um, it was really it was surprising. And what was surprising about it? What was surprising was going into a large event. There was 29 players, and not I mean feeling confident, but I don't know. I didn't want to. All of my testing has been online up to that point, and so this was my first time bringing Vader Yellow to a physical event. And wow, what a difference! A physical experience. The physical tournament obviously is superior to that of a tournament online, right? You just get so much more feedback. There, everything from the tactile interaction with the table and the tokens, but also like watching a human make decisions. And I did a lot of that. I did a lot of just looking at their face, looking at their hand and how much money they had, and just really thinking about it. And it made me feel like old Warlord days when we were competing at events. Uh, it was awesome. I'll try to make this quick. Game one versus Thrawn. It was a close game. I had 29 damage on my base at the end before I finished him off. Also, my opponent was a bit antisocial and kind of sour. I totally understood why because uh, uh, apparently I defeated him in the previous showdown, so a little bit of PTSD coming forward, and he just I think he was just frustrated with certain card interactions
Get
coming out
good
of
or get wrecked.
for sure. Uh, but you haven't been punished by Sanctioner's shuttle as often as this guy has. I promise. So game two was against Piet. Piet is a hard matchup for Vader for me anyway. But I finished him in the end. I swung with Vader with 14 strength. Game three was Han 2. My opponent was really good, and victory came down to initiative. And No Good to Me Dead played on Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron is a turn 5 contingency against all of the turn 6 pilot fuckery that could possibly happen. When I see Poe Dameron, I can anticipate a loss very shortly after because I can't deploy Vader. If they have the initiative, Poe attacks and kills Vader. If I if I have the initiative and Vader isn't deployed, and my first action is to deploy Vader, Poe eats Vader. So yeah, that was pretty tough. But if it weren't for No Good to Be Dead, Poe Dameron would have eaten my Vader, which would have been kind of hot. Uh, Game four was a win against Gar Saxon. Um, my opponent was very gracious, and also this game came down to No Good to Me Dead. That card I have new appreciation for. After this last weekend, I really started thinking about this card specifically. Like No Good to Me Dead does so much for two resources. It exhausts any unit, a leader unit, a basic unit, whatever. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if they've got attachments. It doesn't give a shit about their keywords. This card puts in work. And then it doesn't just keep them bowed for that round. They get bowed for a second round. This is a 2-for-1 card. talk about
And it's
value.
cheap. It's
Yeah,
cheap.
it's really good, man. It's really good, and you feel good playing it too. I'm not gonna lie.
And there's no
Um,
way around not readying. Like it just can't ready. It just can't. Like it you can't remove it because it's an attachment. You can't do anything. Like that's super strong.
yeah, and this is a very unique card in that it holds a sort of memory to the game, right? Uh, if that makes sense. Game five was a win versus Cad. Cad Bane has also been a very difficult matchup for me, but I just drew the the best possible hand against this opponent and my final opponent. I actually felt bad. I put it to Cad pretty good. Game six was a win versus Boba Fett. Boba Fett, the new Boba 3. Yeah, Boba 3. Boba 3 out of JTL is a really, really strong leader because of his um, entering play ability when as a pilot upgrade. When he's deployed as an upgrade, he puts four indirect damage or just four damage anywhere he wants on units. And that's pretty tremendous, period. So it's not uncommon for my opponent to play a ship, a Seventh Fleet Defender, or a Lurking TIE Phantom, or something that can stick around, and then they pop Boba on it, and it's just pain. Oh, it's such a good leader. Um, Arguably one of my worst matchups, but I literally drew the perfect hand for Boba's shenanigans, and I was able to get the victory. Um, yeah, that was it. It was a wonderful event. I got to see two of my best friends, and they played in the event as well. Um, so I felt like I was there with my team, and my team won because my friends and I help each other and support each other. So thank you. Shout out to all my friends who play this game with me and encourage me to play excellent. In my game against Cad, I think I swung with Vader with 17 force, 17 power. That's how stupid Vader got.
That's insane. That's just insane.
Yeah. And it was easy. And to a couple of my victories that night, I didn't even deploy Vader. What the fuck? Anyway,
Crazy. Crazy,
so it
crazy.
was a very cool event. I got some really dope prizes. I got the foil Devastators for one for finalist, champion, top eight, and top four. I got a Carbonite pack, and that pack was juicy. It came with a Prestige Fets Fire Spray and a Hyperspace Foil Han Solo. It was. I was like, this is great. And then in the raffle, I got one of the giant size cards. Oh, I should go get that and show it to you.
Yeah, Robert has the fat. We know. We know.
Robert has the fat.
Yep, that too.
I have two Prestige Slave ones, actually.
Your Kanan that you're missing is sitting here on my desk.
Robert, are you watching the computer screen? Are you ready for this? Behold.
That's magnificent. How do you shuffle
Bruh.
that?
How do you shuffle that?
Yeah, like how do you fit that into the deck? Like I'm confused, but that's fantastic. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, double-sided. Very
Tangent
Super cool.
had
cool.
Tangent had a really good suggestion, and I'm gonna try. I'm gonna find out if the artist for the Avenger is going to be in Vegas, and if they are, I'm gonna figure out a way to pack this to Vegas so that I can get it signed by the artist. The artist is Francis. I apologize, Francis, if I mess up your name. Uh,
Francois. It's French.
Francois. Oh, then how would you Cannels? Canals or Canals?
Probably Canal.
Canal? Francois Canal. Or Canal. Francois Canal. Francois Canal, you're dope. Your art is wonderful. And if you're at Vegas, I want your autograph, please. And maybe your firstborn.
That's not
Um,
creepy at all.
so, yeah, it was a really cool event. Got some really dope prizes. 10 for 10, we do again.
Yes.
Oh, so
Congratulations on your win.
I have to say one more thing about the tournament. And I think, and this is not to my credit. The event, because of time constraints and because of just the way they run their events, was single elimination. I hate that. Uh, for two reasons, just to simplify it. The first reason is it denies people the opportunity for redemption. This is a best of three style game. You get the most optimal Star Wars Unlimited experience in one of two ways. You're either playing a full game of Twin Suns with four players, or a best of three game with any given leader. And that's the first reason. The second reason is sideboard. The fuck do you need a sideboard for in a single elimination event? You know, like the sideboard exists for very specific reasons. It's there to help you get yourself out of traps. It's there to help you, provide tools in real time, which is cool. It's really cool. There's a science to it. I haven't quite figured it out. I probably still suck at it. But I'll never know because I'm in a fucking single elimination environment all the time. Like especially in those games that were closed. Like, man, I would have loved to do a game too. And personally, in four of my 6 rounds, my opponents did want to play a second game with me, which was really nice. Um, the outcome was still the same. There's a lot to be said for Vader. Vader Yellow has an enormous amount of tools. Um, because Vader can run a superior there is a 9 to 12 card event structure. No Good to Me Dead, Surprise Strike, Outmaneuver, Waylay, and Overwhelming Barrage. All of these cards by themselves make up your event kit for most Vader yellow decks. And then you pack in every ship in the yellow arsenal that does something proactive on the battlefield. Either bounces something, exhausts something, or worse, sanctioner shuttle, and you flat out just steal something. In every occasion that I played the sanctioner shuttle this last weekend, every single time I did it, my opponent was visibly demoralized. And I could not ignore it. It hurt my heart to see how much a single card made people feel bad. Excuse me.
And it's an uncommon. Like the power level of that is pretty crazy.
Let me walk you through a simple combo. Turn one, you win initiative. You play Kajimi Patrollers. What does that do? It's a 2 for 1/1. When played, create a TIE Fighter. Once you have Kajimis, or any combination of a one-cost card, or a one-cost ship, or excuse me, 2 1-cost ships, or one-cost ship, and a Wingman Victor 2, which is easy. Like just with the distribution of the curve, it you're very likely going to draw into this opening combo with some regularity. So the plan is make 2 ships and on turn 2 sanction or shuttle whatever's happening. And it's not that simple even, right? Well, I'm sorry, the combo itself is simple, but there's more to the success of this combo. It's Vader himself. It's the way he plays. In the early game, there's not a lot of action tempo. It's 1 to 1, maybe 2 to 1, and maybe 2 actions per player. Very rarely though, and in the first and second turn, right? on average, you can predict that you're going to have a tempo of 2 actions between turn 1 and turn 2, with few exceptions. Vader is an exception because he can play an arsenal of 1 cost ships. So out the gate, if you produce 2 1-cost ships, you have 2 units. That's 2 actions that you get to take into turn 2. Initiative is not important in this match with this leader. Vader doesn't give a shit about the initiative, which is, again, a unique thing about Vader. You're like, when people are like, haha, I got the initiative, you're like, I don't care. I'm going to kill you. Um, the, the tempo advantage means that your opponent is going to take the initiative or sacrifice the initiative before you deliver your master plan. Does that make sense? So on turn 2, okay, I want initiative. All right, I swing with my Kajimi. Why do I do that? Because that turns on Vader's ability. That's first action. Second action, uh, exhaust Vader. Make another TIE fighter. Third action, if the second unit is alive, attack with it. Now I've taken 3 actions. My opponent now is probably taking the initiative, or they're passing in the hopes to catch me with something. But the moment they pass is the moment I play Sanctioner Shuttle and I steal whatever investment they've just spent 2 turns building. So they are now effectively an entire round behind me. Even if they resupply on turn 2, they are behind me because I'm primed to just start taking all their stuff or bouncing it. And I'm likely gonna draw into 1 or 2 ways to do that consistently with these cards, with this list. Anyway, what else can I say about Vader? It's it's a tremendously strong deck. It's one of the best in the field. Um, I have grinded about 500 games with Vader across every color aspect except for blue. Don't ask. I just don't want to touch blue. And that's it.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
I think it's a really important note that in a game where initiative is very important, that when you have a swarm deck where you know that you're not going to get initiative, that it is less important that you actually get the initiative, that you're not relying on it for other things. So I think that that's a really interesting design decision. And whether it was a decision or a happy accident, I don't know.
It was
But
Bob Ross for sure.
but definitely, like, I have 10 units. I'm never going to get the initiative because I want to swing with all 10 of my units. So most decks play 1 card a turn. Most decks just play 1 card a turn, sometimes 2. You're playing 3, 4, 5 because you're swarming, and then you need to actually swing with those cards. You're never getting initiative.
No, I did find myself taking initiative when it meant something, right? Like
Hmm.
especially with things like No Good to Me Dead. No Good to Me Dead, claim the initiative. Sorry, I just won.
I do think it's really interesting decision when people will pass instead of claim, because then it gives you the opportunity to claim the initiative and, well, round's over because they passed, trying to get you to bait something out,
Hmm.
Yeah,
and
I
and then you just say, no, I'm not gonna fall for that bait.
I'll do that when I'm trying to figure out when's a good time to deploy Anakin Leader, because deploying Anakin Leader is probably my weakest point on playing Anakin. Is when do I drop this bomb, which I need 2 actions to at least get worthiness out of, and so I'm baiting a removal card.
Yep. All the time.
Hmm. All right, so spoilers. Are we done talking about Dear Vader?
Yeah, I think I'm good. It was exciting to win a store showdown. Um, Shout out to all my friends again and to Red Castle Games. It was a it was a well-run event. My only regret is that it wasn't best of three.
I will say I think that best of one and the format that allows for no sideboard, I like that puzzle. It's a different puzzle than having a sideboard. And I like the puzzle of I need to be prepared for more things, whereas sideboard kind of gives you an out. So
Okay.
I think it's a very different deck construction puzzle from that. And I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. I am not saying either or, but I think that it is a more interesting puzzle, at least for me, to me. So
I have a request.
wood.
Can we start with the card that I like the most? Please?
There she
No,
is.
that's not it.
Oh
That's
no,
That's
no,
not it.
you're right. You're right. Sorry, there she is.
what the hell, man?
Wow. Way to
Yeah.
make him look like a pedophile.
Get your get your jollies. Get your jollies, old man.
Okay. Um, Balin Skull. I called it from the beginning that we would have at least a unit card, and here it is. I'm still holding out for a leader card. I think a leader card would be amazing, especially because we got an Ahsoka leader card. But we all knew we were getting an Ahsoka leader card. Um, the art is fantastic. It's the art's really good. Like this is so great, and the card itself mechanically seems run of the mill slash average for this set, which is kind of a letdown. But again, we are following up with yellow just gets all the tools, plus it gets to hit you really hard. Yellow reigns supreme. All we must bow before our yellow overlords. I think the Shen Hati card is mechanically probably better, but this is a 5/5/5 with hidden and an on play ability. And Shen Hati is a 3/4/2 hidden shielded. Like, I think mechanically that's just a stronger card.
Oh, Shin is absolutely good. Oh, great unit. 3 for 4/2 shielded and hidden.
And hidden. So she gets to stay on the board. Hypothetically, she gets to eliminate a unit, or she lives long enough that you can throw a lightsaber on her, and now she's even a bigger problem.
Scarier. Also great art. I do have something to say about
Yes.
Balin. So just for the fans, Valen is a 5 for 5/5 force fringe unit. Hidden keyword. When played, you may use the force. If you do, return a non-leader unit that costs 4 or less to its owner's hand. Then its owner may play it for free. I'll point out, you can do this on your own cards.
You can bounce your own stuff back if say someone perilous positioned it or froze it in carbonite or no good to me deaded it perhaps, right?
Or it
Like you
just
can
has a
bounce
good on playability.
or it's damaged, right? Like all sorts of reasons why you'd want to bounce your own card. And you get to play it for free. It's a playing him. You can use him offensively or defensively, and playing him allows you another free action
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to pay a cost.
It's tempo and value.
And the
Uh,
orange
oh,
saber looks super great.
both of the it's glowing. Whoa, bro! Tell me how much you want a hyperspace foil of Balin's skull.
Dude, actually,
We
they're
knew
doing
that already.
prestiges on the character units.
Haha, jeez.
Well, we know
I'm going to turn off my
Aurora's.
camera and mute myself for a minute. I'll be back in 15 seconds.
All right, we'll go through a few cards in that 15 seconds. All right, let's hit these.
Go for the top, most recent.
Protect the Pod, I think, is a really interesting design. I also, as soon as I saw it, this is a 40K design. It's called Tank Shock. You just hit something with your armor as hard as possible, and it's hilarious. And that was your lightsaber turning on.
Off.
It works really
But yeah,
well with Hyperspace Wayfinder. I'm really interested in this 6 cost with 10 health seems like you could do some shenanigans, but probably not.
You can put a lightsaber on.
You could put four lightsabers because it's got four tentacles. Other thoughts? Top row. There's a big blue penis.
It looks like a blue penis, a graceful porgal.
Oh,
Um,
what website are you filtering the list from?
This is on SWDB.
ODB.
How do I get it
It's on
to?
the main on the swoodb.com homepage.
Yep.
There is
Previews.
the Legends of the Force preview. You just click that, brother, and it shows them in order, in reverse chronological order. So most recently released or revealed to oldest revealed. I think Shatterpoint is a good card, and it continues blue hand hate at a reasonable price point. No matter what it is, it's a FU.
Oh, and I like this card for its choose ability or its choose aspect. I like things that give me options. So it feels like it's two events in one, and four seems like a reasonable cost for what this is putting down.
Yep.
I still have reservations about using the Force, but that is my reservation. We'll see if it plays out. I like the T6 shuttle. I think that it'll be really interesting if you can manage to get Sentinel on it reliably and enough health to have it
Hmm.
not fall over. I think that
Hmm.
could be really super fun, and you could just make a big super unit. But then there's also other hate out there, so we'll see if that plays out.
The T6 is a 3 for 3/4 fringe vehicle transport space unit. When this unit is attacked before damage is dealt, you may give an experience token to this unit. That's an A plus.
And then, oh look, what does Ahsoka Tano leader do?
He is friendly unit Sentinel. But
Hmm.
only for this phase. So I want to be able to put this is just a Sentinel unit on it to do it reliably. I think the reliability part is going to be the issue that happens with that shenanigan. Also, just attachment hate, but whatevs.
Also, want this Ahsoka Tano in a hyperspace foil.
They'll look sick. Dooku plays really nice with Balin, with the four cost, and you could have a whole like hidden shenanigans going on. I think that could be super fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's on
Sure.
curve, right?
Yeah. Sort of like a ninja vanish thing. Oh, boom! I play this again, and now all my hidden bitches can't be touched again. The art was. I know what they were going for with the art, which is a young Dooku. I didn't like it. His face is very flat. Doesn't seem like there's much texture. Comparing him to any of the other faces in the row, and he's the worst face.
I think it's very interesting that it's very similar stylistically to the Ahsoka. It just doesn't work for him.
No. It could be the angle. It could be because Ahsoka has more interesting things going on with her face, which breaks up the huge fucking forehead and widow's peak. Hard to say.
It's an
Anything?
odd scene.
I have a
That
feeling it's from a series or from the TV series when young Dooku is there, but I don't know what series that's from.
Legends or something like that, and those were decent watches, by the way.
One of these days I'll resub to Disney Plus and I'll watch them.
I really like these last three cards. Uh, the Shin, Balin, and Dooku because they are on curve with each other. Turn two Shin, turn three Dooku, and turn four Balin, and all of I love all of the synergy. You can get your shield back for Shin if you want to off of Balin, or if you need to get Dooku out of a trap, you can. And their stats, look at their stats. They're great. They're just great.
They're definitely heavy on the attack. Like yellow is heavy, heavy attack.
Yellow has too many advantages and not enough disadvantages.
Agreed.
I would say that either that or the other aspects need to be brought up or
I think
forward.
I like that idea better. Um, like I like that I so like card. I am not a game designer. Balance is not something I know a lot about, but I can look at something and realize that it's unbalanced, if that makes any sense. And yellow historically right now in SWU is unbalanced in the way of it's too powerful. And so what's the answer? Is the answer we chop off its knees, or is the answer we give everybody else human growth hormones? I don't know. Each has a problem with it.
I still want to say that it feels like it doesn't have its own identity. Yellow is supposed to be the shenanigans deck. It's supposed to be the shenanigans color, and yeah, they have some shenanigans, but then they just hit you in the face, and they hit you in the face harder than red does. Red's supposed to be the aggression color, and like here's a 4 cost red.
Yeah, like compare them. Coyote Mundi's right there. And Coyote Mundi has an aspect restriction on him because he's heroic.
He should be better costed than the one without the aspect restriction. Yep, 100%.
He
Next
does
row.
get you 2 cards.
He does get you 2 cards. He is there for the ability, but again, like I could see that ability in yellow, not red. I think
And
that's
he's a Force Jedi.
And he's a
This,
Force Sith. Like, I mean, I feel like they're really good comparison cards to make, especially because they're sitting right next to each other. But just in general, I feel like they're good comparisons. Or like the Iterant Warrior, which is next to it, which is not a unique. 4/4/4 shielded. When played, you may use the Force, and if you do, heal 3 damage from a base. That's also feels better than the red card.
well, it's that's because it's true to its aspect, right? So look at Dooku. Allow Dooku modifies the hidden keyword. Each friendly unit with hidden can't be attacked for this phase, right? So like he brings a shield over your hidden unit, so that's a theme within yellow, and that's what? That's a shenanigan. And then you've got Kiadi Mundi in red, which is what? Aggression. And this card is very straightforward and aggressive. I want more resources, give them to me. Here's my force token. I'm cashing it in. And then the itinerant warrior, she's healing your base, and it's out of vigilance and it's heroic on brand. So I don't know, like I don't disagree with you guys necessarily. I just think that these 3 cards are, to me, very fairly represent what their aspects are supposed to be about. And I mean, we have our criticisms about yellow at the moment, because of how cheap it is to manipulate people's cards, and when you are robbed of the opportunity to play your cards, that feels bad. Period.
I would also argue that my main bone on this one was the cost. All
Oh, okay.
three of them were 4 cost units, and they it does not. It feels like Hayati Mundi, who is unique, so hypothetically he's supposed to be more interesting, more powerful, more versatile, is less that than the iterant warrior, who is just some chick.
I will
Ah,
say that
I
card
see.
draw in this game is a premium. We do know
True.
that it is very much a premium, and I would be willing to bet that the lion's share of his card budget is in that 2 card draw. And drawing 2 cards nonetheless. Drawing 2 cards is
Yeah,
insane.
it would be interesting, and I know we're not going to get the information, but it would be interesting to see how they value
Look,
each
look,
thing.
look, dude. Kiadi Mundi's a bitch. All right, just accept it.
Moving on. I think Morgan Elsbeth is interesting. I also think that she is very interesting coming off the set with Piet because she shares a lot of the same design space. And I feel like she's weaker in some aspects and yet stronger because we're not talking about just capital ships that are really super expensive. And the fact that she can only do it once a turn. So it really still kind of puts you into big units and not rushing out like little weenie units.
I love Morgan Elsbeth. I think this leader has outstanding potential. Um, I felt that way about Piet when I saw Piet, and Piet is a good leader. He's not crushing tournaments, but he doesn't have to. It's a good leader. It's a good deck, builds well in every aspect. Um, I think Morgan also is 100% to be amazing in Twin Suns because you can piggyback the keywords from 4 different aspects. Yes, please.
Hmm.
That's going to be so fun. Ugh, I'm excited. I think Morgan Elsbeth is wonderful. The I like it.
And then, you know, her ship just a couple cards down.
The Eye of Sion. Oh yeah,
Hidden ambush, overwhelm, restore. Like it's just it's almost as good as the smorgasbord you get from some Spectre decks.
and she's gonna get this for cheap.
Yep. And 4/7 is a stat line that you are not going to sneeze at for
A,
6.
a four. Well, I don't see out of Morgan. It's a 4/7 hidden ambush overwhelm restore for 5.
Yep, 100%.
Yep, yep, yep.
Two first cards there are so the art is so good. Very different styles, but so good. Although
Uh,
Mace is a bit like Gambit to me
where are
in
we?
this.
Oh, are we talking about? Okay, sorry.
Sorcerer's Blast, Mace Windu.
Mm-hmm. Sorcerer's Blast. One, one cost aggression event. Use the Force. If you do, deal 3 damage to a unit. This is a good card.
So good.
This is a
So
good card. Decks that aggression decks that can keep the Force token online consistently are going to. This is going to be painful for a one cost. Mace is a 6 for. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say I'm very curious to see how well the Force goes over. I've already mentioned it, but it's going to be a big opportunity cost, I feel like.
Okay. And I'm you know what I have a part of me is in reservation with you on that or I agree. Like I'm because of because of what we learned about pilots, I feel similar that the it's kind of like hidden, right? Like how relevant is this keyword going to be? Well, how relevant is the force going to be? And is this mechanic just going to be locked into this one expansion? Are we going to see future lose your force token abilities? Because if we don't, then it kind of sucks that well, it'll just make this expansion bland, and over time it won't age well.
I am a little worried about that. I haven't seen any pilots in this set.
so I wanna the I think the Force token is meant to slow down gameplay, which I am in favor of. Additionally, unlike pilots, I haven't seen anything that says that interacts with your opponent's Force token. I mean, it might be cool if we got some of that, but I haven't seen any card that impacts my opponent's Force token, which means when I have it, as opposed to a pilot, which is, oh, you removed the ship due to whatever removal or capture, and now that pilot is gone too.
I also think that I would have a very different opinion if there was a Force Well as opposed to a single Force token and you either have it or you do not. If you could gain the Force a couple times and stockpile it, because I just happen to have cards that generate it and I don't have any of my spenders, and then it allows me to build it and then I can spend it when I get those spenders in my hand, I think I would have a very different opinion. But the fact that I can only stockpile one at a time, I think is going to be a rough sell.
Give me a mana pool of 3, bitches.
Yeah, even if you limit it, I think three would be enough. I think one is a hard sell. So again, we'll see. We will see. Going down. I actually kind of like this Vader art.
That Vader art is awesome, but go back up to the previous line, the last card.
Priestesses of the Force.
7, 6, 8. When played, you may use the Force. If you do, give a shield token to each of up to 5 units. Beautiful.
How many times are there five
Beautiful.
units on the board at that point?
Vader.
That's, but you don't run him out of blue.
but I could.
We'll see. We'll see. I think that like giving it to 5 units sounds good. I don't think you're gonna have 5 units most of the time.
Probably not, but I feel like it would synergize really well with a Kanan beast deck type of thing.
This I would run this in a Luke Skywalker build.
Looking down, looking down. I like the design on Vader too. You can give a shield token to something, and then you can pop something with a shield token. So if you can shenanigan that shield token onto your an opponent's unit. Oh,
Bro,
no, to a
You
friendly
have
unit. It
to,
is you give the shield token to a friendly unit. Oh, and an
and
enemy
an
unit.
enemy unit.
You're right.
So you have to give a shield token away, but then on attack, you can
You can
defeat
pop
an
it.
enemy. So, oh my god.
Here, leader. I can't possibly kill you any other way. Bing!
first, dude, Gar Saxon is already a scary leader. Now he's on crack because Gar Saxon ECL with Darth Vader is going to be so gross. Because he's going to you can because it's ECL you can ramp, right? So you're going to be able to potentially do this on turn 3. And by the way, defeat an enemy unit with a shield token on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Vader kills leaders.
Yep.
That's it.
Goodbye, leader that I can't deal with otherwise. Thank you for playing.
Yep. Or a giant capital ship, whatever. He's just like, that thing's gone.
I've been reading the Vader comic book series that I I bought them all from when Disney got the rights, and I've been reading them. And so in the canon now, following the so like between episode 3 and 4, part of Vader's deal was the Emperor sent him around to just kill everybody. And so like this fits in with that so good.
We're gonna kill everybody. Let's kill them. Kill them all.
And I can't help but wonder, like, it was that just Palpatine being like, I gotta give this kid something to do. He's
Or
so
he's
pissed
gonna
off.
kill me.
No, it's oh my god, it's so much worse. It's he's like manipulating him the whole time and like teaching him a lesson and making him it's part of the indoctrination of making him his subservient Sith apprentice. It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty good.
That's dope. No, but I mean, I want the chibi comic, like like New York Times comic panel of Darth Sidious being like, "Ah, I got this angsty teenager Vader, and he's just so angry all the time. How do I fix him? Light bulb. I'll have him murder everybody."
I just got an image of that in the Calvin and Hobbes style with
Yeah,
the
you give
dad
me.
and Calvin, and god damn it, PJ.
Boys, be boys.
Ow. Okay, let's move on.
We're getting old. That's how it goes.
Yeah, we are getting old.
But not too old to kick ass at a tournament. What?
I think that there's some really interesting cards on this row. Avar is fucking huge. Like, she's a capital ship. And I don't know this character at all. I don't know where she's from, but goddamn,
Old Republic.
that would make sense why she's a beast if she's Old Republic.
Her robe also indicates that time period, I think.
Uh, I want to say that this ability is really interesting.
Well, she flat out just, I have the force. And for no other cost than to exhaust. This is perfect.
With you're looking at something else.
Am I?
He was still on Avar.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
while
I'm
the
still on
force is
Avar.
with you, it she doesn't just have the force. While the force is with you, this unit gains +4 in overwhelm. You have to have the force. She doesn't give you the force.
She right, but she does on her front side. So on her front side, the
Oh,
force
that's
is
right.
with
This is a
you.
leader card.
Yeah, man.
I
Check her
forgot.
out.
I forgot that she had a different side.
It's
I
okay.
also like that. I also very much like that.
That's what I'm saying. So like she primes her own terror. She deploys on 9 though, but I
It's
think
green.
I think huh?
It's green, so she deploys on turn 5 or 6.
Plus the
Right.
number of times you've used the force this phase. Like so
Exactly.
if you can cycle the force many times, she can come out even sooner.
Oh, this is great. This is gonna be this is the first um heroism leader that I've seen that I've been like, oh, I want to play with this one.
This is the first force unit that I've seen that makes me actually interested in building. Although it is heroism, which means that I'm never going to build it because I don't give a shit. Because
You can just
fucking goody goods.
you can just pretend.
I'll pretend. I might pretend online with her. I think it might be interesting. But I'm not going to bother building a deck because I don't give a shit. Goody goods.
I think for your own therapeutic reasons, you should build this deck and have fun with it.
I am too dark side coded to give a shit about.
You're a bitch. That's what you are.
I am a bitch. Uh,
Methink he doth protest too much, sir.
yep, yep. Uh, So, okay, I'm moving on now. I like this. I like this ability, and I'm interested to see if this actually turns into something with
What is this?
Marchian Row.
Oh, okay.
Each friendly unit's raid is doubled. I think that could
Mm,
be really fun. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I think it could be lots of fun.
I mean, his
And
stats are fair.
and then the Nile trait keyword. Fuck.
Ooh, I just noticed that.
So it's new this expansion, and I'm wondering if all of them have raid on them.
Probably. Although now I'm thinking of Elden Ring and wondering why we are not healing. Just saying.
Six for
Uh,
six though.
moving on. Uh, Gungi is cute. I like Gungi. He's super cute. He's super cute.
You're just gonna roll over the 3 for 1/5 with raid 3?
We talked about it. It's another Nihil. It's raid. It's pretty damn good.
I'm just
It'll
saying the
be
stats are worth mentioning on this one.
okay. It's 3 for 1/5, which is worthwhile. I think the biggest issue with raid is the fact that it dies really easily when being attacked. Like you can kill it off without a lot of backlash.
There's very
So
few
we'll see.
things though on the ground that are gonna hit you for 5 damage. Force
On
choke,
turn 2.
right, on turn 2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Honestly, comparing this card to some of the other cards we've looked at tonight, I want to know what their budget math is for keywords and stats and stuff because it's a 315 raid 3. What? So I attack and it's a 4-5 for 3? Okay.
I'll bet you that raid is something like half an attack per like point. So each raid is worth half an attack. So this is being rated at something like a 3 for 2/5.
Well, also, like this card for its stats is an excellent timely intervention target. Timely intervention is the one cost event that allows you to um, play a card from your hand and give it ambush, and you can play timely intervention from your resource row because it has a smuggle cost. So it makes a mid to late game Nile Marauder actually dangerous because it's a 4/5. It might actually come in swing and still live. Sorry, didn't mean to take up too much time on that.
No, it's good. I do have something to say on the last card of this row, and this will lead into later our discussion on the book. This should have been a Ysalamiri. When played, you may exhaust a force unit. Tell me that shouldn't have been a Ysalamiri. I mean, seriously.
I mean, fair, but it would have had to have been lower stats, like it would have been a 1/1/1 or something.
Yeah, well, and it would have been a different species too.
It's just a
Like this is,
creature.
yeah,
Just a
but this
creature.
does not descript wise. This is not an Islamari. No, it doesn't even look like it.
The abilities just feel like it's Mary, and now I feel like that whole like design space is gone. And I know that they're not canon anymore because they're not. They're legends, but
Oh, you
whatever.
dickhead. Way to make it sad. So I agree with you. I agree with you. If I don't look at the art, the 3 for 3/3 when played and on attack ability definitely feels like something you would put on an Islamari card. I did never say never, brother. Never say
Or
never.
or maybe this is what's supposed to be a Vornsker.
Fair,
Maybe this is
fair,
supposed to be a Vornsker.
fair. You're don't ruin my dialogue later. I got shit to say about Born Screw.
All right. Anything on this row that we want to talk about?
Uh, fuck, dude. Purge Trooper, 3 for 4/2 when played. You may deal 2 damage to a force unit. Come on.
Put it in a hyperspace foil and call me daddy.
Right. And this has a great synergy also with some of the on curve space units. There's a 4 drop, there's a 4 cost TIE fighter that when it enters play, it does 4 damage to a space unit. Um, There's also another TIE fighter that does when it enters play. I think it has. No, it doesn't have ambush. It has when it enters play, it does 2 damage to a damaged unit, just damaged unit. So this Purge Trooper fits real snugly right there at 3 cost for its stat line and its when played ability. Its only drawback is that your target is restricted to being a force unit, but that's okay because that's what we're coming into.
Very much.
I like this card. I think Grand Inquisitor is something to behold. 5 for 3/5, shielded. On attack, the defender gets -2 for this attack.
I
And
love
it's a
those.
leader.
I love those abilities, and I think that highlights how raid is a little bit weaker, like because you're essentially giving the thing raid against Grand Inquisitor.
And this card shows up uh excuse me, 5. Turn 5. Not turn 5, turn 3.
5. Oh, okay, 5 resources. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 resources, turn 3.
Yeah.
So Grand Inquisitor, I'm not excited to play it, but just looking at it, I'm have a feeling it's going to teach me some respect.
You will respect him. Yes, you will.
Comes he comes in shielded. Sick. We should probably talk about the learned traded cards. These cards
Uh-oh.
are basically Jedi forms or Force forms. How would you describe them?
They are lightsaber forms, and again, yellow domination continues. It's fucking ridiculous.
Right, we're looking at Sheehan Flurry. It is a 1 cost mono yellow event. Learned. Play a force unit from your hand, paying its cost. It gains ambush for this phase, kind of like timely intervention, but for yellow. The next time it would be dealt damage this phase, prevent 2 of that damage. This card is just awesome. And this card makes
So
the
good.
costs of some of the Jedi we've seen make sense.
And then compare it to the name and strike, which is in the same row in green. It's the same card. There's a form card for every color. It, uh,
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that they did it right. I love that they brought in the lightsaber forms, even though they're not canon now. They used to be a really big deal, and that's awesome. And the Cal Kestis artwork is great here. Again, the yellow card, I think mechanically is just superior to the other three, and that is disappointing.
Great. Very agreed. Still haven't seen a Cal Kestis unit card, and I hope we do. Or leader, unit or leader. Like he's in the art. Like we need him to be in play somewhere.
It's definitely it seems like it's a popular demand. I think it's what the fans want.
Agreed. Agreed. Those
It
were
is some of
very
the
popular
best.
games.
Yeah, well, and it's some of the best storytelling in game form in the last decade, as far as I'm concerned. Um, and it's a fun game just to explore. Gideon will just run around looking for shit in that game. The second one, Survivor, or was that my? I don't remember. We
Survivor
have them
was
both.
the first one. I need to pick up
Ah,
the
okay.
second one. It's actually on sale, so I might do that.
Yeah, I think the lightsaber forms are interesting. I'm excited to play with them, just to abuse Robert, make his little make his little sad heart blossom with tears.
Anything on this row?
No, I think that brings us up to date, right? Sort of. I mean, we haven't been
Yeah,
like
we've seen this
super.
Kylo.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think we are up to date. I do like the art on both of the shield and the experience tokens, and I like that they're spoiling the art on those. I feel like this should give you negative one, or just like kill you if this is your art. But that's me
Hold on.
being dark coded.
We have to talk about the shield art for a second. Like, pay close attention to the hilt of his lightsabers.
He's got a basket hilt on his right hand lightsaber. Like,
Right?
that's fucking
Right?
cool.
That's so cool.
That's
I'm
fucking
like,
cool.
is this a pirate Jedi? I'm into it. And like I love that it's like Jesus with God
So it's
damn it.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. uh why can't think of the name of this specific saber. Anyway, doesn't matter. Jesus with a pirate sword.
With a cutlass?
Thank you. Yes,
You're
it's
welcome.
Jesus with a cutlass.
Jesus with a cutlass. Alrighty. So that is spoilers for today. I'm sure we will get some more tomorrow and it'll be super duper fun, and then we'll have to do this again next week.
Oh, one more thing about the experience art. The experience token art is a youngling in training with his little baby lightsaber
Hmm.
and one of those little tiny laser droids that shoots you.
Pew
Uh,
pew, pew pew pew.
it's look at how cute he is, and I just can't stop thinking about what's gonna happen to him very soon.
He's about to have no experience at all.
Yep, and he has no resemblance to Cal, so you know he's not gonna survive. Or this is baby Mace Windu.
I was actually thinking that when I saw the art, but then, why's it got to be about color?
They should have
It
made the
doesn't.
lightsaber purple. It would have been perfect.
He doesn't really look to be the right color.
You don't think that's an African American child?
First off, in Star Wars, there's no such thing as African American, and secondly,
Yes, there are.
what the fuck?
It's canon, dummy.
Really, it's African Coruscantian, not African American, thank you. And now we got canceled. So,
Great.
Um, and no, the skin tone didn't appear to match the esteemed Samuel L. Jackson.
neither does the art on the Mace Windu card. It's quite a bit lighter than I would say Mr.
Well, that's
Jackson is.
racist.
Anyway, moving on. Do we want to have any other discussions tonight before we move on to the book club that'll never air because we are going to get canceled and all of our accounts taken away?
That's okay. Worse things have happened.
This feels like a good transition point to me. mostly because I'm fading.
If you are Faden, would you like to record the book club on another night if you are starting to die, sir?
I can do it tomorrow night.
I can do it tomorrow night.
I should be able to do it tomorrow night too. Let's
Then
do it tomorrow night.
I would rather talk to you while you have energy. That way you're not as annoying and pathetic
I'd
as
rather
you're
not
going
talk
to
to
be.
him at all, so, you
I
know.
like leaning into the pathetic part because then people feel sorry for me and give me beard scritches.
Oh, if you were near, I would totally give you beard scritches.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see if that all stays in or not as Robert tries to die or tries not to die. We appreciate you joining us. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dennis, since Dennis doesn't get to be Mom anymore. We appreciate everybody who does join us and anybody not named Mom or not named Dennis that has listened to us carry on for over an hour about silly pieces of cardboard. We will see you anon. We will record a book club. Again, we are going to be talking about Heir to the Empire if you haven't had a chance to read it. Read it. It's really good. Really, really good. We will see you all the next time. Thank you very much.
I
Bye-bye.
love you, lady. Bye bye.
Have a good night, everyone.